I was meant to be a priest. That's the other part you don't know. Only 3% of Kenyans have perpetually been on the limelight as successful people. The rest of the people are depressed. One of the wealthiest gentlemen on earth called Warren Buffett says that we should be spending the balance of investment. When you make money, invest fast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Karsten Eisborn, and I'm your host for today on the BID podcast. Today we have a very special guest who is popularly known as the financial doctor. I won't say more, and I'll let him introduce himself. Daktari, welcome to the show. You're welcome.
Very, very happy to be here this afternoon. Thankful that you invited me to be here on this podcast. My name is Alfred Matthew, commonly known as the financial doctor. Alfred Matthew is the founder and chief executive officer Peace Africa Insurance Agency, which is a leading intermediary for two very customer-centric financial giants, Absa Life Assurance Company and the Old Mutual Life Assurance Company. As a financial doctor, my role is to help investors and potential investors to have a right foundation on financial planning. I will help you to establish where you are on your financial journey, understand the pain points, and I will be able to offer solutions that will help you to navigate. Financial planning is of a big concern to a lot of people because about 97% of Kenyans are financially sick.
Yeah, sure.
And that is why we have focused on this market to try and help people to get out of their various quagmires in terms of financial planning and be able to make more structured decisions around financial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Alfred, we want to know, and many others want to know, what is the inspiration behind your project? I mean, how did you start? How did you grow? Tell us. How was it?
Really, I've got a very, very interesting background because a lot of people who know what I do now would imagine that I'm coming from a financial background.
Exactly.
And that is not the reality.
Yeah.
I grew just like anyone else in the country. I come from Nyandarua County,
okay.
for that matter.
Yeah.
That's where I was born and brought up. My father and mother were both peasant farmers. I was born in a family of 9, 7 boys, 2 girls. 7 boys and 2 girls. And I grew up just in the normal setup of the African society. Very humble family, very, very humble beginning. Of course, many challenges of the time. My father and mother struggling to feed the family. My father and mother struggling to pay school fees. But besides all that, we still managed to get to the level that we are today. I went to Kabati Primary School. That's where I did my primary school education. Then thereafter proceeded to St. Paul's Seminary in Nyeri. I was meant to be a priest. That's the other part you don't know.
So you want to be a priest?
Yes, I went to a minor seminary. And of course, the mindset of a seminary is that once you graduate, you become a priest. But that was never going to be, because after Form 4, when I did my Form 4 exam, that is KCSE, and passed, I found myself at a crossroad. My mom really needed me to become a priest. She had actually seen my trajectory go in that direction. But I had a different mindset. I thought of first pursuing my degree, but I still had at the back of my mind that after graduating in the university, that I'll go back and pursue priesthood. I went to Moi University, where I did my bachelor's degree in sciences, and I graduated way back in 1998. I cleared Moi University in 1998. I actually joined Moi University in 1993 and graduated in 1998. And soon after graduating, I got a job with Old Mutual Life Assurance Company as a financial advisor. One, that disappointed my mom because that was not the expectation. She knew from the onset that I was going to be a priest.
Okay. So initially, she really wanted you to be a priest.
Yes.
Why a priest? Before you continue, why a priest?
She really wanted me to become a priest because, I come from a very Christian background. Okay. And the fact that my mom, all the years, had been a senior lady in the church, she actually wanted to have at least one child from the entire family who would actually be able to stand on that direction and support the family on Christian matters. But of course, I kept telling my mother that even if I don't become a priest, be sure that I still serve the same God and I will do it diligently, even as a father or a dad to somebody. So I got into Old Mutual in 1998. And the interesting bit of it here is that I cleared Moi University March of 1998. those were the days where you would clear university and take about a year before before graduating. So I cleared March of 1998, and in May of the same year, I got my sales job with Old Mutual. Very, very interesting situation here, that we were employed in a class of 37 financial advisors, and God was on my side. I hit the ground running. After going through the training, I got a very, very good mentor called Stuart Henderson. He was the CEO of Old Mutual then, and he had a South African background. That's where he was born and brought up. He was a guy coming from the military. So after going through the training and we're done, end of April, I was in the field selling. And I started off very, very well. I actually got my very first clients in the first month. First month, I was able to get a couple of clients and I started earning. I was also put on a retainer, which they were calling training allowance. And with the residual income that I was getting in form of retainer and the commissions that I was then earning, or I started earning, by the time I was going for my graduation, which was November 1998, I had done enough to buy a car. I drove my car to the graduation square.
How profitable was it?
Well, let me tell you, the market is quite huge. A lot of advisors fail because of their wrong mindset. They got to sell their needs rather than solutions that will meet the customer's needs.
Yeah, sure.
So I think with the mentorship that I got from Stuart Henderson, who I told you became my immediate mentor and boss, my mindset was very different. Put yourself in the customer's shoes, try to offer the best advice that you could offer in that particular situation, and you give timeless advice. And as soon as I hit the market, the first couple that I met, they signed up for different policies, and thereafter they started referring me to their friends. And the network grew very, 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 very fast. As I said, as I was going for my graduation in November, I'd already managed to accumulate enough to buy my first car, which I still remember. I bought somewhere in Langata. I bought that car in Langata.
Wow.
The car went for 235,000, and I bought that car from a lady, and who really challenged me. Because I remember when I was buying the car, I asked her one simple question: why are you selling this car? Then she told me, Alfred, I'd like you to come into my compound and see why I'm selling this car. When I got into that compound, she was a single mother of three. She had a fleet of cars in that compound. She told me, Alfred, of all these cars that you can see here, when do you think I'd find time to drive the one I'm selling?
Wow, okay.
So in her mindset, she was releasing a junk. Because she had other.
So they were in excess.
And that challenged me. If I didn't work that hard and that kind of lifestyle,
sure.
and me, I'm a man with more energy, younger, I decided, no, I'll do it differently and I'll do more. And thankfully, went for graduation beginning of December. I graduated, got my degree, and continued my journey with Old Mutual. I was privileged to be among the few financial advisors who were in that class of 37 and who were sent to South Africa for further training. I went through the training, met enough guys that had worked for Old Mutual for enough years, enough decades, and some of them had succeeded and even went beyond their own expectations. And I think that is where I underwent a complete mind shift. And I told myself, I think this is what I was meant to be doing in this life.
Okay.
I dropped my interest in chemistry, my interest in physics, and now focused on becoming a financial advisor. Because you realize that the Kenyan insurance market has been very, very small.
Yeah, true.
You look at the number of people who have taken up insurance services or financial services or even the investment products compared to the bigger population. We talk about 2 to 3% of Kenyans have something to do with investments or savings. So really the market is quite big. And I'm telling you, I've never looked back. My journey from 1998 to this date has been very, very inspirational. I have seen literally everything in terms of the good and bad. And every single day I feel the bigger desire to continue on this journey and continue changing lives, and I have seen them changing. You can imagine the guys that I first signed up in 1998. The bulk of them now have had series of matured contracts, and they are even doing more as years are going by. I've seen children being educated. I've seen people buying homes. I've seen people retiring well. I've seen families that lost their loved ones that were covered by us being compensated. Okay. I mean, that has kept me going. Yes.
That's His Africa Insurance.
Now, His Africa has a story. That, when I started off with Old Mutual as a financial advisor, I grew through all the ranks. junior financial advisor, senior financial advisor. I became a sales manager, became a senior sales manager. I became head of retail affluent. I became GM of Old Mutual Kenya business, became GM of Old Mutual East African business. Now, in 2013, which is when I was given this role of becoming the GM of Old Mutual East African business, that is a more salaried role than commission.
Okay.
So my MD then was called Tava, and the tax experts of the business then advised me that because Alfred, we're giving you a more administrative role and you're going to be earning a salary.
Okay.
We not want to contravene the policies of this country. We don't want to pay you salary when you're also earning commission. That will bring some conflict. So what you do, you move your client portfolio into an agency, so that that relieves your name from the business, and so it can be paid salary. That marked the birth of East Africa. That was the way back 2013. But now, even as I took over the role of GM East African business, what happened then is that I appointed somebody to be the principal of the business, while me myself continued doing the administrative role.
Wow.
So I was literally not being involved on a day-to-day basis. I would sell only in the evenings after work, early mornings before going to the office, or weekends or holidays. So the lady that I appointed to be the principal continued managing the portfolio that I had then, and from time to time I would put in some new businesses where I managed the sales team. 2018 is when I decided now enough is enough. I've managed enough people. I've done what I needed to do as a GM.
Yeah.
I now resigned from that position and went back now into managing my own agency. And I think that was quite timely because the biggest takeoff of the agency has been experienced from the time that I resigned from the management role to now focus on growing the agency. One, at the point that I resigned from management, I was primarily serving Old Mutual. But now, after jumping out of Old Mutual management role, I now also allowed a new contract with Absa Life, and which I would say has had a very, very significant impact in my journey as the owner or the director of East Africa. I have been able to make very significant milestones in the last about 6-7 years. Significant. The customer base, the customer numbers, the product range, the satisfaction levels of customers have actually now that has now gone to another level, because I think Absa Life has also been, the way they have packaged their products was quite unique and very customer centric approach that they have taken. Yeah.
I'm really getting it because you're telling a story and I'm busy smiling.
You see, the business has now learned. I mean, started with one staff. I've grown the numbers, over the time, and currently I've got about 15 staffs working for me. They're not necessarily doing any sales job. They are managing the portfolio. From operational perspective, customer service perspective. Some are helping me the digital marketing perspective. Some are taking management, responsibilities.
Yeah.
Others are taking risk management roles. I've got people of all, with all manner of responsibilities that they're handling in that business.
Okay.
I'm the one who is going to the field every day to meet new customers.
Okay.
And then they manage the rest of the
You do it by yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I do. So whatever information that goes out to my clients is seamless, because I'm the person who they meet first. I'm the person that speaks to them first. Once the deal is sealed, I will submit it to the office. The guys in the office will then help in the underwriting process and the submission, and of course the after sales services.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
What drives you like this? What keeps you going?
I think one of the biggest lessons that I picked from Stuart Henderson was an approach of goal setting.
Is Stuart Henderson alive till today?
He is. We celebrated his 70th birthday last year. I invited him intentionally.
In Kenya or is in South Africa?
He's in both, because he's got a home in South Africa.
Okay.
He also has got a home in Kenya. He's been a consulate, and because he's now retired, it was a pleasant surprise to contact him and tell him, you know what, Mr. Henderson, most of us are who we are because of you.
Exactly.
We would like to celebrate you as you turn your 70th birthday. Mr. Henderson, all the years, even after he retired, he has never skipped a birthday message for me. Every year, May of the year to be precise, he sends me a message wishing me happy birthday.
He's been that kind of a guy. So this is the person who saw our foundation. And I'll tell you, part of what I gathered from him that inspires me today is goal setting.
Goal setting, yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
this guy told me, you'll never achieve anything in life unless you are very, very clear on the goals that you want to go for.
But the
And
goal setting is very important. That's
and
one
the
thing
goals
I
that he
realized.
talked about, he said smart goals. Smart goals are specific goals. They are measurable. They are achievable. They are realistic and they're time bound. You decide this is what I want to achieve in the next 1 year. This is how much it will take in terms of financing. This is the manner in which I'm going to achieve that goal. This is going to be the outcome. These are the challenges I need to manage between now and that. You know, he brought in a mindset that was never there. And it has inspired most of us that every year I know what is it I want to achieve. I normally have a meeting with myself. When I have that meeting, I'll decide what are those 2-3 things I want to chase this year. What is going to be my strategy? What kind of money do I need to procure for that goal to be achieved? How am I going to be measuring my progress? And I'm telling you, most of the time, I find myself achieving more than I had actually attempted. Only because of that kind of mindset. Besides that, of course, this guy taught us the need for professionalism.
Yeah,
He was a
it's
guy
very
that stood
important.
for integrity. He never allowed a single agent to play games in that company. Though you hear that an agent went and stole the customer's money, an agent, defrauded the customer, the agent misrepresented an agent, those things, they were never there. He would never. You hear he came from an armed forces background. He was like a cop, I would say. So for him, when it came to issues of integrity, 100%, no compromise on that.
Was very strict with
Yes,
that.
that as you recommend to the customer, can you put yourself in the customer's shoe? Be very selfless. Because at the end of the day, if a customer is happy with your services, they refer others to you. And that is what actually has kept me going, even up to this stage. I'm getting worried that soon I'll be 60.
You'll be 60.
I'll be 60 soon. I'm 5 years away. I think one of the things that I'm working on right now is succession. I really want the momentum that we've built in the business to continue even after I retire. I've now brought in some of my children in the business, so they can also help me. To
That's
carry on
nice because you're mentoring in the same business.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've got some of my children working the business to also help me in carrying the business agenda forward.
Okay.
But what a happy person I am to see so many people in this country who were financially ignorant, and now they listen to me and they undergo a turnaround. The person that was not so conscious about how they spend their money, now they can sit down, do their budgets, look at goals, accomplish them, go for the next goal. They are planning. They know they need to do lifestyle management. They need to do retirement planning. They need to be cautious about lifestyle expenses. I'm seeing a lot happen in this country, and I'm a very, very happy person. Very, very happy. Every single day, I'm writing numbers. I'm writing people. I'm onboarding people into the investment programs. Yes.
So you are commonly known as the financial doctor, and I'm sure you mentor a lot of people when it comes to the field of finances. I'm sure there are those people you've mentored and they've grown, right? How do you feel? How does it make you feel?
Let me tell you, originally, my biggest motivation in the business was monetary. But that now it has been overtaken. What keeps me going and very inspired is to see an engine that I've built from the scratch, running, employing people, giving top services to customers, getting customers to become more financially conscious. Because as I told you, the statistics in our country have always been shocking. About 97% of Kenyans have been procrastinators. These are guys that have waited until the last day to make a decision. And some of them, when they make decisions, they make very hasty decisions. There's never proper planning. No, we are trying to move people from that kind of mindset to become people who are more conscious about what they need when it comes to issues of money. That a prudent person starts planning for their last day or the first day. That's the kind of mindset we are trying to plant. That for people to realize that your financial stability is not about how much money you earn. It's about having correct structures. Structures that give your money identity and direction. And to start realizing that money needs to be given assignments. You have to be the one intentionally giving money assignments. Whether it's on emergency funding, education of your children, your wealth accumulation, your wealth diversification, your wealth protection, whether it's retirement planning, lifestyle management, that you are the one giving your own money the responsibility or assignment. And to also realize that the people who earn the most are not necessarily the ones that are most successful. The ones that are successful are the ones who have connected with the why. Why do you earn?
Because generally speaking, from a financial planning perspective, money is supposed to be the tool.
Yeah,
The purpose remains the master. We now want to have people's mindset change. And that gospel, my brother, has seen a lot of financially sick people undergoing a transformation. I want people to realize that if they maintain their current trajectory, they will fail. When you see people failing or succeeding financially, it's never an one-night process. It's a journey. So I want to ensure that people embrace habits and behaviors that will accumulate into success, that will accumulate into discipline, that will accumulate into focus. You stop doing the wrong things now, so that in the next 5 years, 10 years, the good behaviors that you take up will inform the kind of status you are going to find yourself. Because only 3% of Kenyans have perpetually been on the limelight as successful people. The rest of the people are depressed.
Yeah, true. It's
They are
true.
tired of this life.
100%.
They wish were not born. A lot of the people in this country don't even have goals. They are literally walking like dead bodies on the streets. You see the amount of pressure that Kenyans are having.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You know, a lot of people fake their lifestyles. People are faking until the last day that you thought the guy so and so was doing well until he committed suicide. You thought so and so was doing so well until he defaulted on his loan. You thought so and so was doing so well until his house was sold. You thought so and so was doing so well until he was not able to take the children to the right schools or the right universities or right high schools. These are the things that are happening in Kenya. We want people to live realistic life. Realize that even as you make money, not every shilling that is made today is meant for today's expenses.
today, yeah.
Some of it can be pushed in tomorrow. And that's why I'm the person that pushes the gospel of 25, 50, 25. And I'm sure you'll be asking yourself, what is this gospel about?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a budget formula. One of the wealthiest gentlemen on earth called Warren Buffett says that we should be spending the balance of investment. When you make money, invest first. That aspect of paying yourself first confirms that you value your life, you value your future. And out of the ideas of Warren Buffett, and who is one of the wealthiest,
Yes.
we are saying that first 25% of your regular income should take care of your savings and investment. And that is why you pay yourself. The next portion of 50% of your income should take care of your needs. And the remaining 25% of your income should take care of lifestyle expenses. Let me explain this a bit more. This first portion that takes care of 25, that takes care of savings and investment, depending on your money personality, and there are about 4 money personalities. We got a spender, we got a saver, we got a dreamer, we got an investor. Depending on your money personality, the first 25% of your regular income will be directed into savings and investment, and which will break down into 3 elements. The first 20% of the 25 will go to emergency funding. That is why you build an emergency account with a threshold of 3 to 6 times of your monthly financial requirements. The money should be directed into an environment that is safe and accessible all the time.
All the time,
We talk
sure.
about money markets today. The second element of 50% of the 25 will go to your medium-term goals. Here I'm talking about goals that you must accomplish in the next 5 years minimum, but by your age of 50. This is a space I'm telling people to ensure they align their goals with their cash flow, manage their expenses, and avoid getting into unnecessary lifestyle debts. The remaining 30% of the 25 will go to your long-term retirement investment. This is where you build security for your old age. Ensure that you clear all your debts. Ensure that you have enough liquidity for old age. Ensure that you also support the structure with a succession plan. In the absence of this budget formula, I can assure you, you are going nowhere in terms of your financial wellness. A lot of people get to the top, but they'll come down.
Exactly.
We have a gospel of financial independence. And I'm sure even you talk about financial independence. Everyone has a desire to become financially independent one day. So what's this financial independence about? It is a state of having enough passive income that can sufficiently meet your current expenses, even when you're not actively working. Can you imagine that day that you'll be waking up, go and play golf. Tomorrow wake up, go and play golf. The next day you wake up, go and visit your children. The other day you wake up, you go to church. The other day you wake up, you visiting your parents. You are not doing anything of economic importance, and yet you have enough money that supports your, all your expenses without worry. When you're financially independent, you do not have to work for the money.
Yeah, true.
The money works for you.
It works for you, yeah.
But now, the process of becoming financially independent is not a one-night process. It's a journey.
It's a journey, true.
And this journey has got about 9 steps. If I could just highlight a few of them. Let me tell you the first one. Is that when you think about goals, ensure they are smart. I've just talked about smart goals. Number 2 is that you have to realize that this life has got a lot of disruption. Can you equip yourself with an emergency fund? Number 3 is to ensure that as you start off your investment journey, you have an emergency fund. Have an emergency fund. It's very, 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 very critical. Have your goals right. Have an emergency fund. That one is to ensure that as you get into the journey, start diversifying into the various investment options. The other one is that you have to manage risks. Risk
management.
Death, disability, and critical illness. Those are some of the risks that disrupt you very easily in your financial planning. We talk about debts, managing your debts. You see, whether you minimize the debts, whether you reduce the exposure, whether you clear them, manage all the debts, get them out of your way. We have a step called succession planning, that you have to be the one intentionally, distributing your assets, because death is a must for all of us. Don't die with all your assets. Transfer at the right time to your dependents. We also talk about something called retirement planning. Some of these are the steps that will get you to the financial independence. And that is the reason why a lot of people will never get there, because they're not willing to make the sacrifice that will get them to embrace some of the disciplines that will take up these decisions to become financially independent at one stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking of such a plan, financial plan, there are those people who wish to have such a plan, but they don't have enough income. Someone is earning a salary of, like, let me say 15,000. That's the lowest. 15,000. How can that person be able to plan himself? Because it's a bit challenging, though, especially in our current economy.
You know what I'll tell you? The idea of budgeting is the most important. That right from the onset, you need to be upskilled in terms of how do I manage my money. I never recommend a flat amount of investment. I recommend a percentage. Remember, I'm talking about 25, 50, 25. So a person that is earning, for example, say 20,000 for ease of computation, 20,000, the first 25% of 20,000, you get the first 25% of 20,000 will be about 5,000.
Yes.
So that 5,000 shillings is the amount that will go into savings and investment. And out of the 5,000, the first 20% of it is going to be emergency funding. That is 1,000 shillings. The next portion of 50% of the 5,000, which is 2,500, will go to your medium-term investments. The remaining 30% of the 5,000, which is about 1,500, something like 1,500, will go into your long-term retirement investment. And I'll tell you, regardless of the amount, only if you embrace the percentage, it will see a very significant transformation in the way you manage your money. A lot of people, those that are earning 1 million shillings, just apply the same formula. Those that are earning 100,000 shillings, the same budget formula. Those that are earning 20,000, same budget formula. You will not push yourself to limits that you cannot afford. Ensure that you live within your means. So a person that is earning 100,000 should avoid doing things which only a person earning 500,000 shillings can afford. And I see a lot of people, for example, a young man earning 100,000 shillings, buying an expensive lifestyle car, and then soon after, the car puts you into debt. You're trying to sustain the car on the road. You are trying to fuel it. You want to have insurance. All these things. And majorly, the reason why that person bought the car is show off.
It's basically for sure. That is what people.
When must you buy a car? It is when your lifestyle account has enough funding to buy the car. Not when you are struggling. It is when the lifestyle account. Remember, I talked about 25, 50, 25, and I said this last 25% is for lifestyle. And lifestyle, that's why you buy a car. That's why you decide to buy which phone am I buying. You decide which holiday am I going. Is it within the country or outside the country? You decide where will I be buying clothes. You'll be able to decide where am I going to live. If, for example, you are looking at class, you decide where would I be eating. If you're looking at class, it's the same, of course, account that you also do tithing in church, overture in church, brack tax, all those things. But a lot of people are not very conscious of what kind of split I need for my income that should go into managing my lifestyle. Where should I be spending my money if this is my current income? A lot of people will stretch to levels that they cannot afford to sustain. You buy a car which you're not able to sustain on the road the next 1 year. By the time you're giving up, the car has put you in big financial mess. You are now in debt. Some people are even going to Sherlock debts. Why must you go that direction? Why don't you grow step by step? By starting to build an emergency fund. I talked about the initial plan is to build a threshold of 3 to 6 times of your monthly financial requirements in your emergency fund. That when you're a young person, you are only at the entry stage. You're looking majorly at emergencies. You need a bit of liquidity that you can be able to pay your bills. You need to be able to place a decent meal on the table. You need to have bus fare. You need to be able to meet most of your recurrent expenses. That should be your concern at that stage. That's why you're building an emergency fund. But a lot of people never start with that.
They make money, they consume. They make money, they consume. So they're only having money for their own needs, and lifestyle. They're never saving anything. They're never investing anything.
Okay. And do you support black tax?
Now, we are coming from a background where we found this happening. Parents take care of their children, and when the children grow up, they start now taking care of their own parents.
Yeah.
And that being the tradition that we found ourselves, one thing I would say is that it is important for parents to start realizing that black tax is dying.
It's slowly dying.
dying. I have children who are working, as I said. Me personally, I still have my mom alive. I still have my mother-in-law alive. I've lost my dad. I've also lost my father-in-law.
Sorry.
Now, anytime I'm going home, I don't even have to be reminded to stop at a shopping mall to do some little shopping for my mom. I don't even require anyone to remind me. It's obvious in my brain.
It's in your mind, yeah.
I have to do it. I support my mother. I know her monthly responsibilities, how much I normally send. And that's the way we are working, me and my brothers. That every month we have a fund where we all contribute. That money is channeled to one of the siblings who they says to our mom for sustenance. But anytime I'm going to visit her, I'll do some shopping for her for items that she might not even be having.
Yeah.
But as I said, I've got children who are working. And I'm saying this with a lot of respect. Not that I expect anything that is abnormal.
Yeah.
My children, the two that are working, whenever they are coming home, they majorly come home on Saturdays or Fridays. I see my son just carrying his mobile phone. I just see my daughter coming home with a handbag and her mobile phone. But you know what? When they're leaving on Monday, I see them carrying food.
Yeah. Oh, so
They came with nothing, but on Monday they leave with something. So technically speaking, my house is a shopping mall for my children.
yeah.
That's how ironical the
So they're coming with nothing, but they're leaving
come
with something.
nothing, but live with something. Now,
We also do that. with
I'm
parents.
encouraging the
It's not-
parents who are watching me at this hour. Those of them that still have the mindset that their children are going to totally take care of them, you might need to review your plans and decisions. Because, as I said from the onset, this black tax is dying. The children of today have not been socialized with supporting parents. That they didn't grow seeing that happen. That's not what they know. They met parents that are financially able. And therefore, they always imagine that parents don't even need the small support from the children. But as the saw our parents struggling, I think we were socialized differently. And that's why we still support our parents. It is important that people can start having a very independent mindset where plan right. Don't just sit back and hope that your children are going to come and take over your body.
Yeah.
You will have to plan right. Have a financial plan that as you think about your old age, I think it is important. I always talk about an ideal financial planning roadmap. And maybe I can give the 4 steps.
Yeah. Sure.
An ideal financial planning roadmap has got 4 stages. The first stage, you will make and manage your assets or your resources or your money. The second one is that you will accumulate and multiply your assets. That one is that you will protect your portfolio. But mostly the fourth one, very, very important, is now where you sustain and distribute. The Bible, and it's never an error, says that a wise man leaveth inheritance for his children's children. The Bible says a wise man leaveth inheritance for his children's children. The Bible does not give any provision for black tax. It's not saying that now as a parent now you start now, it should be reversed. Now when you're old now you start depending on the children. No. The Bible's motivation is you should have enough resources, enough assets to support you, support your children, support your grandchildren.
So the Bible has.
But why are people failing on that? It is because our planning is not right. A lot of people procrastinate too much. A lot of people wake up realization that time is not on their side. You are starting to invest for retirement when you are 58, when you are 59. It's too late. Start early. Because if you start at the right time, maybe you are 24, 25 as you start working, you have possibly about 35 years to retirement. By the time you're getting there, because of having enough time to compound your assets, you have sizable funds that can be able to secure your old age, secure your children, secure your grandchildren. But 99% of Kenyans, as they die, they don't even have enough for themselves. It's ironical. God wants us to have enough for ourselves, children and grandchildren. But the irony here is 99% of those that are dying or retiring don't even have enough for themselves.
It's very true.
And the irony is because of procrastination. And even procrastination, the Bible has talked about it, clearly talked about it. A lot of people just wait. They make money, they spend. Actually, you are seen as a fool. You lack wisdom. When you make money and spend all of it, the Bible sees you as a
Lack
fool.
of wisdom.
You are not planning for those days when there could be some financial disruption. You need to have some cushion that in the case of any disruption, I still have some security. I have a buffer that if things go wrong, I have something to give me some cushion. COVID was with us here a few years ago. And out of the experience that most of the people went through, have we changed our ways of managing money? A lot of people are working as though COVID can never come back. A lot of people are spending as though COVID now is a forgotten story. It can come back.
It can.
The worst thing is to repeat the same mistake. That last time, you actually end up in Shylock debts. You end up selling your car. You end up selling your plot. You end up selling your assets. And now, 7-8 years later, if there was a repeat of COVID, that you still find yourself in the same mess. This is the foolishness that God wants us to get out of. You need to be wise. How do I manage my money and so that this money can take care of me? Money is very unforgetful. Money doesn't forget.
Yeah, true.
You misuse your money. You do injustice to your money. It will do the same to you when you'll be needing it most. A lot of people, when you see them doing hide and seek with money, it's because money is actually revenging. When you're looking for it, that's when it's not appearing at all.
It's true.
When you had it,
It happens to most of us.
Yes, you did injustice to it. And justice you do by spending carelessly. People do spend their money carelessly. They spend as though their present circumstances are going to always be. But any minute in Kenya, it's breaking news. Any minute. Anything can happen any day. Somebody that was very healthy has had heart attack. Somebody that was so healthy has been diagnosed with a kidney problem. Somebody that looked so healthy has suddenly been diagnosed with cancer. So because of some of these disruptions, you need to be careful enough that as you spend, can you leave room for cushion? That if things went wrong, I've got a backup. If there was an emergency, I've got a backup. Don't just spend. So I think for me, the things that we are preaching to the people every single day, majorly are biblical. The ideas borrowed from the Bible. We just tweak them in a manner that people will be able now to comprehend the situation and the objective. Yeah.
I clearly see the Bible doesn't really support black tax.
It doesn't.
But it tells you to, just as you've said, to invest for your family, your family's family, and the coming family.
Can you imagine?
Okay, so we are lazy out here. We are lazy because not all families have such a system, actually. Yeah, not all families have such a system. And then coming to speak about it, I can say that I'm a victim of poor financing. Yeah. And I'm not alone. There are others there watching. There are a lot of people there who are watching this. And I once had an idea of growing. Like you can see right now, BID, Built in the Dark, it's growing. It's growing. We have some few challenges here and there. Now let's come to the challenges about finances. You see, I had a certain idea of acquiring properties. And I found investors. I managed to convince investors, talk of the billionaires in town. So I managed to sit down with them and they were willing to invest into what I wanted to do. But when it came to, there are some little things you'll have to do here and there. I was not able to do it. And I think I gave up in the middle of that. So there are those people who are really trying. They are really, really trying to make it. They have money and they are really trying. And then at some point, the pesa tu inaenda inaisha. Unaona that you can't be able to actually fulfill what you wanted to fulfill. And coming back to you, did you ever go through such a moment whereby, you know what, you had a dream, like this is what I want to do, but you were not able to do it. And at some point, did you ever feel like giving up? Because majority have given up. And even me, I was at a point of giving up, you see. And when I saw that I was giving up, that's when I was like, no. Let me not give up. Let me try doing more so that I can actually fulfill what I wanted to fulfill. And that's where BID came from, to give people hope, you see. So at some point in your life, did you see yourself giving up? Was there something you ever did or you wanted to do and you were like, no, I'm not able to do this right now?
What I'll tell you, Caston, is that I've never been a perfect person. Just like any other human being, I've also been making my own mistakes. I've made enough mistakes. And over the years, I've also learned from some of those mistakes. The reason why you fail, it's not so that you sit there. is to dust yourself, get started afresh, but pick the lesson. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a situation in life where I found myself wanting to give up or nearly giving up. I've had challenges, yes, but not to the extent of almost giving up. Every time I'm faced by a situation, I take time to think. I will opt out, go have a moment to reflect, think, look at both sides of the coin, which is what a lot of people don't do. I will not rush into executing a decision because in the past it has costed me. Making very hasty decisions at times costed me. And that's the reason why now, as I make whatever decision that I do now, I reflect enough and I ensure that I also check with my accountability partners. I don't just want to make a bad decision when somebody else who is wiser than me would have told you, hold on, Alfred, that decision is going to take you to the wrong direction. Please, can you take your time? Don't in haste. Go pole. That's what I'm doing majorly now. And I had the time to make mistakes when I was a younger person. Right now, at the age that I'm in right now, it can be very costly. I can't afford mistakes at this stage. Mistakes were okay when I was younger. But right now that I'm near getting to retirement, I don't have any room for mistakes. Right now, I wouldn't. By the time I'm making a decision to do something, I've thought through. And I can see the implication on both sides, the good and bad. So I've thought through the process, I've thought through the milestones, and the idea, generally stands for success. Let me tell you, one of the things that keep coming my way, a lot of people keep coming to see me, Alfred, I've got this business idea, can we invest in it? If I reflect on it and I see risk, I will not attempt.
You will not,
I will not attempt. A lot of my friends come my way, Alfred, I'm in this kind of situation, I'm in that kind of situation, I wanted you to lend me some money. You see, as a financial advisor, I've got enough experience that 67% of people who are borrowing money today have no intentions of paying back. So what I'll do to a good friend is that I'll give you what I can afford to lose. Otherwise, I'll take you to the bank. I'll let you borrow the money from the bank so that I also don't spoil the relationship. A lot of people have burnt their fingers, not because the idea of giving was bad, but they didn't think through. That the bulk of people, you lose them because of giving them your own money.
Yeah, true.
You are not in lending business. You are not a bank. You are not a Shyrock. You are not a Sacco. Why are you lending? Give what you can afford to lose. Money that if I give you, I'll not think about it tomorrow. But that money which is going to significantly affect me, if I have to give, not my own, I'll get the bank to give you the money. I could be there maybe as a guarantor depending on how you get it. But I ensure that you also think through. I don't make it so easy for you to just get money from other people and then you default and you mess the relationship. No. So back to your question, what I'm trying to say is that yes, I've not had a situation where I totally lost hope or nearly lost hope, but I've had my
Okay.
Yes.
So I have two questions here from what you were saying.
Yes.
One, when the lady left, couldn't access some things. How did you guys manage to access the things that you guys could not access? Another thing is, I usually see that they say in business, do not involve family members because they don't know how to separate between business and, I don't know, important stuff. And, as in, they won't take it serious. You see, they won't take your business serious and so on. So how do you trust how do you trust involving your family into the business?
There are two questions. I think the first question, how we managed to get back, the process was long, expensive, and tedious. Getting some of the documentations, recovering our passwords. One of the things that hit me so badly is that we're trying to recover the passwords. The default mobile number through which you could recover the passwords was actually this phone. So in our process of trying to recover, messages were being sent to her phone. So again, we had no access.
And was she responding? Like, was she
No,
communicating?
even now, even with that phone,
you mean
we can't
she
access
disappeared
anything
like that?
to do with her. Nothing, totally nothing. And I had never seen it coming because when we were going to US, she was brought to the airport by the husband. The husband brought her to the airport.
So you fully trusted the woman?
Yes, I trusted her 100%. You hear she was a signatory in the account. And when we were in the US, I remember at some point I asked her, how come you're not doing enough shopping? I've not seen you doing a lot of shopping. Because I would see her just buying one item there, and I'd given them allowance, even as we went. She told me, no, I think I've got most of the things that I'm seeing around. That's why I'm not shopping. Okay. I asked her at some point, can I give some more cash, which I'm going to deduct when I go back to Kenya? She said, no, me, I'm okay.
The exit was
Yes, it was so
strategically planned.
It was so clear. She had planned from here. And even when we came back, the husband never came for her at the airport. So it means that he was already aware that she was not coming. But other people came for their relatives. The husband never came for the lady. So that's point number one. Let me talk about the other point. I hear a lot of people saying that you cannot work with your family. You cannot work with
Yeah, true, yeah.
I think for me, it depends on what kind of family do you run. What kind of family do you run? If you're running your family with wisdom, your children are your friends, your spouses are your friends, you can't be able to work with your family. Let me tell you, one of my mentors and a very strong mentor, Lance, he's in the hospitality business. He originally was a tea taster, but now runs his own facility in Kilimani. He's got a very premier restaurant. He lands with a wife, lands with his firstborn daughter, and a secondborn who is a son. The thirdborn who is a lawyer is working elsewhere. He's working in a law firm. But I'm telling you, if I've seen people executing their mandate effectively, it is that family. Everyone has got their clear role in the business. Very, very, very clear. Today, if you're going for a payment in that hotel, the husband does not even write the check. The wife does not even write the check. They don't even sign. The signatures are for the children. What does that tell you? There is absolute trust. This guy has nearly totally finished doing his succession planning. From time to time, he and the wife disappears from Nairobi. At times they go to Bondo. At times they are out of the country. And the business lands flawless. You would actually think that they are there, even when they are not. And I think that is a big challenge that we all need to embrace right now. Let's avoid doing hide and seek with our children. Let us integrate them in our business. And you do that not when they are old, if possible, when they are still young, so they can see the vision of the business. They can actually be able to contribute towards the welfare of that business. But the moment you disconnect from your children and you're only trying to integrate them when it's very, very late in life, it will be very, very difficult to have them, fit in, a running business. A lot of them find themselves very incompatible in that business. So what I'm trying to say here then is that for me, working with my children, anytime, I'm happy to do it. They have clear mandates. They have their own assignments. They have their responsibilities. They have got their roles. And I'm happy to work from, with the family and ensure that they continue dispensing their duties as they are described in the appointment documents. Yes. When we are in the office, we are not father and daughter. No. When
you're workmates now.
Yes, we are workmates now. That is the one in charge of this department. That is the one in charge of this department. And they see me as their boss, as their director, not as their father.
And they abide
me, I'm your father in the house, not in the office.
They abide to that like 100%.
Yes. In the office, I'm your boss. I'm the director.
You've never had any ups and downs with them?
Certainly, they are children. So you also keep correcting them.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Like I did, they also make some of the mistakes. But I think the only thing you can do as a father is to keep correcting them.
Yeah, sure.
So that they can also up their game as they continue in the journey. So what I was trying to emphasize here is that in the office, they are not my children. I'm their boss.
You're the boss, yeah.
You see, I see them as employees in the various or directors also in the business, because ultimately they're becoming co-directors in this business. Okay? But when you go to the house, that's where I'm your father.
Huko kwingine ni kazi.
Ni kazi.
Okay. So, another question I would love to ask is as you are developing, as you are growing in this field, what is one greatest lesson you've learned? The one greatest lesson you've learned as you are growing in your field?
There are many lessons that I've learned over the years, but I think top of the list right now is that, as I said earlier, money respects structures, and that's the reason why work with a budget, having clear financial goals, ensuring that you are committed, you are focused, you have the discipline, it will help you to achieve your long-term agenda. I think in the process, my boss encouraged me to start my own individual investment that time. 1998, when my income was not much, the guy encouraged me, can you, Alfred, start your own investment journey now? Because there will be a time you'll be 50 years plus. and that money is going to help you. So at a very early stage of my life, at about 24 years, I started doing my investments. I have seen those investments maturing when I was 50. And I'll tell you very, very frankly, the maturity of the investment that I did that time is now what is securing the education of my children who are in the campuses. That I'm now paying the school fees, not with a lot of pain. Yes, it's a bit of pain here and there, but not as much as it would have been. Paying university fee for children out of the country is not cheap.
It's not.
It's very, very expensive. Very, very. I will tell you frankly, it's very expensive. A lot of parents would actually want to take their children to some of the universities, but they're not able to because there you don't go paying school fees in installments. Point number one. Point number two, there's nothing I'm going to give promise that I'm going to pay this next week. On the day the child is reporting, you're supposed to have, the slip of the transfer that you've cleared your fee balance. There's nothing like the amount that you're owing. And you must also ensure that the support that you're giving your daughter or your son is available, so that again they don't end up there in refuge. Most of the countries, they will not allow children just to go and be idlers in the streets. No, you must be well structured. So one of those lessons that I've picked, and which I always try to tell people, is that there is need to not just invest your money, invest time. So that if you're able to start doing investments early, you have enough time to not only invest the money, but also give that money enough time to compound. Because compounding is magical. You are not going to compound your money within 2-3 weeks. But given time, your money turns around. That your 1 million shillings can easily become 3 million in the next few years. You need to invest and give your money time. A lot of people, what has affected them most is not having money. It is having money but procrastinating. By the time you are starting to take up the idea, it is very late in life. Now, even when you try to multiply, you don't have the time. A lot of people had the chance. They waited until their health circumstances changed. You are in good health. Right now, you have cancer. You waited. You are in good health. Now you've become disabled in an accident. You are in good health. Right now, you're struggling with a terminal illness. So such circumstances that have now changed will not allow the same environment that would have done the investments to give yourself cushion. A lot of people now are very, very desperate because the circumstances they find themselves right now are very hostile. And you know what? Life only gives you one chance.
Exactly.
It will never give you a second chance. Always put your best foot forward.
Chances come.
Remember only one thing that I always keep saying. It was not raining when Noah made the ark. It was not raining. It was certainly very dry. I hope you remember the story of Noah and the ark. It was very dry. He made the ark when it was so dry. And he talked to people to come into the ark. They refused. They said, no. It's too dry. Which rains are you talking about? You, Mr. Noah, what are you telling us? They didn't believe that things were coming. When light came, they thought just light lanes. Marasha too. The flooding continued. People said, but you have options. We are climbing on top of the trees. We are climbing at the mountains. We are climbing the hills. We'll still survive. The flooding continued. When they were drowning, that is when they remembered. And that is what I keep telling my investors. Right now, you should be getting into your ark. But the bulk of the people are willing to wait for the rains. The bulk of the people won't get into the ark. They'll wait for the rains and they are going to drown.
They'll be swept.
If you don't take timeless decision, you are not very serious about your life, you are going to be consumed. Because I always tell people, what narrative do you have in this life? Is it to invest now and enjoy later? Or is to enjoy now and suffer later? The bulk of the people will do the latter. They'll enjoy now and suffer later. Only a few people are willing to make sacrifice today to invest now and enjoy later. They have excuses all over the place. People have excuses. They don't want to invest.
It's true.
And when you see things going wrong, don't blame the economy. Don't blame the president. Don't blame the head of what. You blame yourself first. You are the biggest obstacle in your life. Can you get out of that mindset? See what you need to do. Even in an economy that in your mindset is struggling, we still have new billionaires that are coming up.
Yeah.
Why do you want to have a mediocre mindset? That you are thinking that you've come to the end of this life? There are too many people who are getting rich by the day, even today. There are people who are getting opportunities every single day. Why can't you be one of them? Have a positive mindset. So money respects attitude. The moment you have the right attitude, positive attitude for that matter, you go further than where education could have taken you. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Alfred, I'm really enjoying this. Like, to be sincere, I'm really enjoying it. And I have a lot of questions. A lot in my mind. We are limited with time. And for anyone who is watching out there, any young person, as you've been told, right now, this is the time for you to sacrifice yourself for tomorrow, actually, so that your tomorrow can be better. Sacrifice yourself now, enjoy yourself tomorrow. And Mr. Alfred, what is that one advice you can give to someone as we are winding up? What is the one advice you can give to a young person? And, for those people who feel like it's already too late for them, you say it right now, you're almost hitting your retirement period. And what advice will you give to that person who is both young and that person who is almost hitting the retirement season?
I think one thing that I will tell my listeners is obstacles and excuses are what you see when you take your eyes off the goal. Obstacles and excuses are what you see when you take your eyes off the goal. You will need to intentionally invest. You will need to reflect on your current behavior to money. Because if you're not investing, you can be sure that poverty is investing for you. If you're not investing, poverty is certainly investing for you. At all stages of your life, remember the baboon that beds during the time of the wind is the one that survives the storm. When it comes to money matters, when it comes to money matters, it is very good to be intentional. Don't just sit back. Where you need help, don't wait until when it's too late. The Kenyan people have one tendency. They never see the doctors at the right time. Most of them are literally taken to see the doctors. You cannot even take yourself. You've waited until when it's too late. You are too sick. You cannot even be able to explain your illness. It is your family members who are taking you to the hospital, and they're the same people who are explaining your medical problem. When it comes to financial planning, don't wait to lose all the options. That you're coming to see us when you have lost the options, you are being auctioned, you are retiring miserable. We encourage you to come at the right time. We'll be able to give you advice that is timeless. You'll now be able to start your turnaround journey. And by the time you're getting to old age, by the time your children are going to universities, by the time your children are going to high school, by the time you're looking at your succession, you'll be happy to look back at the milestones that you've been able to achieve. Anyone can achieve. Anyone can succeed. I don't think God had any intention of making anyone poor. It is our mindset that makes us poor. Why don't you get out of that mindset? Have a bit of positivity. Take that bold step of faith to reach out. We are giving most of these services on pro bono basis. We are not even charging you. Come, we'll listen to your story. We will tell you what should be the correct direction to take. We'll show you the correct milestones, the correct steps. And as long as you are coming at the right time, I believe the advice that we're going to give you is going to be so impactful that within a few years, you'll actually be able to turn your situation around. Because anyone can retire better. Only if you are willing to be assisted. But you're not going to be assisted if you're not willing to be assisted. You must first of all acknowledge the fact that you need assistance. Talk to us, reach out to us, and we are going to do what we need to do to get you on the right path.
Okay. Thank you very much. So today we've had a very great session with Mr. Alfred Mathu, commonly known as the financial doctor. And I'm sure you guys have picked some 1 or 3 things that he has talked about, and you've learned something throughout this session as well. So, Mr. Alfred Mathu, I really hope to interview you again next time, because I don't know how to express it, but I'm really enjoying it. I was really enjoying it. There are a lot of things I'm learning. I wish I had a notebook here, because I don't know why I didn't carry my notebook today, so that I would note down these things. I've learned a lot. It has really opened my mind. And that's all I can say. Thank you for tuning in with us. Kindly don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with your everybody who is watching, and share with your friends, your relatives, and everybody. So thank you so much for tuning with us, and we hope to have engagement with you guys next time. Until next time, my name is Kastin Hesbon, and I was your host. Thanks.